Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Belanger. Welcome to the Speakeasy, and I love zombies. I'm hoping what you can do right now is share this feed because there's going to be a pretty amazing show tonight. I guess it's a show. If you share it right now on Facebook, wherever you share it, people will also see us, which will be super fun. There are 4 people in the Speakeasy tonight, so it's getting downright crowded. We can share your comments, which will be fun. We want to hear what you're drinking. Marty will be here soon as his margarita is ready. That's good to know. Hello to you, Elliot. Good to see everybody. I'm just going to jump right in. Let's start introducing our panelists. This idea was born a week ago when I had Greg Lawson in the Speakeasy. So I'm going to add Greg in first. Greg from Texas. So Greg wrote this book years ago, and I got to be part of this panel. And the book's called, there it is, the Zombie Advocacy, Undead Survival Advocacy, Project C. This was great. We were part of this panel where we talked about the rights of zombies. And we're going to sort of reproduce that tonight. So, Greg, let me first ask the most important question. What are you drinking?
Tonight, I think I'm going to start out with a Pilsner Urquell.
Ooh, in a glass bottle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I don't, and I got this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It does everything. Yeah.
I've seen those.
So that's going to go into my metal.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is like very medieval of you.
Yeah. I thought I'd go old school.
Andrew got his girlfriend, Michelle, to watch. Thank you. All right. Cheers. All right. Next, I would like to bring in Angelka Rogers. Jel, how are you?
Great.
And Jel's also in Texas. She's an author. She's part of the Russell... Help me, the Russell Rush
Tour.
Russell Rush Haunted Tour. You guys get nominated and win Emmy Awards and stuff, which is amazing.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
And so, and you're here tonight to talk to us about zombies. And I love your outfit. Let me get Greg out of here so we can. Yeah, look at you. See that?
You see? Wait,
yeah.
I can't get it right. There we go. How about this?
Oh, I love that. You got red on you. Okay, what are you drinking tonight, Jel?
I am drinking Slivovica. I'm a quarter Croatian. It's a Croatian plum brandy. I have a cousin that lives right across the street from where they make this in Zagreb.
This is the classiest drink I think ever in the Speakeasy. So thank you. Good to have you here. All right, hold tight. I'm going to pop you out, and I'm going to pop in our last panelist. Please say hello to Aaron Sagers from New York City.
Hello.
Good to have you here, Aaron. Pop culture guru, TV host, writer, researcher, all kinds of stuff when it comes to the paranormal and the weird. And Aaron, first of all, I would like to ask, how are things in New York City? We have the news here, and it looks bad.
It is a little bit intense and eerie. However, people are kind of falling in line and following the social distancing rules. So, trying to hang in there together.
Well, very good.
Staying apart.
By staying apart, and we can be together here. So what are you drinking tonight, Aaron?
Well, Jeff, I couldn't do a zombie panel without making a zombie. Tiki cocktail from this version's from 1950, but the cocktail goes back to 1934.
All right, well done. What is in a zombie? I actually don't know.
It's more like what's not in a zombie. There's passion fruit syrup, Angostura bitters, 3 kinds of rum, some brown sugar syrup, pineapple juice, and I like to add a little bit of grenadine on top just for the blood effect.
Very fancy. So here's a comment I'd like to put up. Joe says, Thirsty Thursday. Let's do it. Joe, I'd like to point out that we're going to forgive you. We're going to totally forgive you. It's Friday, actually, but none of us know what day it is anymore either. So that's not to make fun. That's just to point out we're all in the same boat. So, okay, so let's get everybody in. This is fun. This is crowded. Here we are. Hello, panel. Tonight, I'm going a little bit different here. So, this is B&B. But yeah, I know you're like, whoa, classy, right? And this is not a snifter. This is not a snifter at all. But what you do is you put in like about an ounce, right, of that, and then nut brown ale goes on top.
Got to have the nut brown ale, my friend.
Yeah. So
that's some Sam Smith nut brown ale too.
Oh.
And it's overflowing.
As it should.
Well done.
Cup overflowing.
So, yeah. So, guys, welcome to the Speakeasy, and thanks for joining me, all of you. It's overflowing and making a mess. Son of a gun. There it is, though. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So let's just go around the horn. Let's start with Aaron and go clockwise. Favorite zombie movie? We'll start there.
Got to go with the original Undead Ghoul movie, which is Night of the Living Dead, 1968, George Romero. But close second, Gel's got it right there, Shaun of the Dead.
Yes. And so you actually sent me some pictures. You got to meet the man himself. There he is, George Romero.
Yeah, I was fortunate to host many panels and have many interviews with him and really get his take on the whole zombie culture and the genre that he effectively created.
Pretty much. And that was Night of the Living Dead, of course. And he used zombies as kind of like this metaphor for consumerism, right? I mean, that was the idea, was we're just mindlessly shopping all the time. We don't have our brains anymore.
Yeah, the allegory sort of shifted depending on which movie he was doing. Dawn of the Dead really, hit hard that consumerism element. But Night of the Living Dead, it was also a commentary on civil rights and war. So he was great about getting the horror right, but also the satire right.
All right. Very good. Jill, let's go to you. Favorite zombie movie?
Yeah, I have to go with Shaun of the Dead, but there's a lot of contenders that rival it. Like, I really love Dawn of the Dead because that was in 1978. That was one of the first zombie movies I ever saw. That scared the crap out of me, seeing zombies take bites out of people like an apple.
Yeah.
But there's Train to Busan, 28 Days Later, even Juan of the Dead. That's hysterical. Right. It rivals Shaun of the Dead. But Shaun of the Dead is always my favorite.
And so, and just to get back to it, so you got to investigate a mall at night, and you recreated some scenes. There we go. Look at.
I had to do it. It was so similar. It was so cool.
That was Jill at the bottom, and there you go. Like, yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's the whole point, right? You're in a mall, and off you go.
The funniest part was the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead. The mall in that movie was called Crossroads Mall, and the mall that we were in was called Crossroads Mall for a time too. So it was hysterical. I just had so much fun. Couldn't concentrate on investigating. I
love that. Okay, Greg Lawson, to you, favorite zombie movie?
I'm going to have to go way out in left field and say Fido. Fido was a great period piece. Was protecting the rights of undead survivors, and I think that's where I'm going to go with that.
All right, so Greg, the reason we're all here tonight is really mainly because of you, and that's because years ago you wrote this book, Zombie Advocacy, which is amazing, and you and I got to be on a panel together in Texas, and you asked me to be a part of it, as were others, and you said we're going to talk about zombie rights, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is like totally stupid. And once we started talking, I'm like, this is amazing. This might be the best panel I've ever been on. And so I want everyone to jump in when you got to jump in, knowing the complication here of the technology and all that. But let's just start with, again, we'll go around the horn. Greg, are you pro zombie rights or anti zombie rights?
Well, I am the foremost expert in zombie rights, so of course I would be pro zombie rights.
You're their advocate. Okay, Jill, to you, pro?
I think I may flip flop on that topic from time to time. It just depends on my persona at the moment. Right now, being Shaun of the Dead, I'm for zombie rights because I don't want anybody messing with my mate in the back garden, in the back shed, playing video games.
That's totally fair. Aaron, pro, con, where you stand?
I feel like this is not controversial enough because I am also pro zombie rights.
Okay, I'm going to take the position against. All right, there it is, because someone has to do it, and I will do it. And this is a good question right here. What the heck are zombie rights? Greg, I'm going to let you field that from Jessica, please. So maybe you could start with an example, because that's, I believe, how we started all those years ago on the panel.
Okay, Jessica, zombie rights would be the fact that when someone dies of antimortis viruloma or whatever the contagion is, or radiological, biological, whatever. They die and then they reanimate as an undead person. Their rights are not expired. They're still an American citizen, and they still fall under the Constitution, Fourth Amendment, and Americans with Disabilities Act.
Wow. Okay. No. All right. Okay. So Zombie is walking down my street in front of my house, and I'm armed to the teeth, right? Like I got the AK, I got all the guns, all the clubs, everything.
You don't even know what to call them.
I got guns within guns. I got guns that shoot other guns.
The AK-14s.
Right. Crossbows, right. So can't I just shoot that zombie? I mean, he's
legally, no, you can. Is he a threat to yourself? You have to look at it as, is he an immediate threat to yourself or someone else? And if that's the case, then, you have certain rights that you can defend yourself. But otherwise, you need to call the cops. You need to call a cuffs facility, or you need to call a zombie advocate to come out and go ahead and round them up.
Okay, Andrew's asking a good question. If they're declared dead, don't their rights go away? And
no.
Wow.
No, it doesn't go through probate. Have you been through probate? Everything that you own when you die, you still own until it goes through probate.
Aaron Sagers, you're standing on your front stoop there in New York City. You see a bunch of zombies wandering by down below. You got your guns. Are you shooting or not shooting?
I feel like you can't go straight for the shooting. For me, my thought is it creates a slippery slope. Once you get to be the arbiter of who's living or dead and who you can shoot or not, then suddenly you get yourself into this situation where it's like, well, they're almost dead, or I wish they were dead so I can shoot them as well. So I think no, because you have to think about the bigger picture and where you go from there with that slippery slope.
Jell, shooting or not shooting? You got your crossbow.
Yeah, it depends on if they're a direct threat to me. If they're coming at me while I'm going to go on a supply run, I'm going to have to shoot them. But, if they're shooting haphazardly, just any old zombie sitting around minding his own business, that's a different story.
Yeah,
but when they're hungry, you're their food, right? Like at some point it will be self-defense, so why wait?
I think it depends whether they're coming after you or not.
Well, they're not now, but they will be.
It depends. Just walk quietly and slowly, and hopefully they won't notice.
It reminds me of a different genre, the Minority Report, sort of this idea of pre-crime.
That's right.
Should you be able to arrest someone because you suspect that they will commit a crime, that even if you have a lot of reasonable suspicion that might happen, you still can't just go kill them. In this case, that zombie may just be standing still, may just be going about its own zombie business.
You guys,
we got to throw you some sort of bone, don't we?
No, but I'm just saying, let's think about pretty much all the zombie movies and TV shows we've ever been exposed to. It doesn't go well for the living, ever.
And for what it's worth, Jeff, when you go through from kindergarten to 12th grade, you go through about 11,000 hours of training in school. During that time, you have about 15,000 hours of watching TV, and the media is very biased towards zombies. Everything is negative. They call them zombies. I mean, they use a Z word. I use undead survivor because that's what they are. They didn't ask for this. They didn't say, "Oh, I want to be infected," and then turn into this thing and have all these maladies, like separation disorder, post traumatic death disorder, mastication conduct disorder. They have a lot of psychological problems and a lot of mobility problems. So
wait,
you want to just go shoot them in the head like everybody else does. I mean, in my book,
here comes the plug.
I sold 3 copies of that thing. Nobody wants to advocate for them. Everybody wants to shoot them in the head. And I really appreciate this panel. Aaron Sagers, I've been wanting to do something with you for the last 10 years. And you've been saying no, but I finally cornered you.
This is it. This is totally it. So, okay, wait, Greg, Colin wants to know, what is Lawson wearing? So I'm going to drop everyone else out. Can you please stand up and give us a turn and describe your outfit?
I don't have my cape on. No, it's not. It's not an outfit. I just got home. I've been out advocating, and sometimes when you do that, you have to go into a more proactive role. But I'm just.
Okay, I thought maybe you were like ready to go. Oh, we moved people around. I didn't even know how I did that.
Lynn told me I should go ahead and put all of the machine guns, my vest, my helmet, and, and all that stuff away because it would offend people.
Okay, Andrew brings up a good point, right? So everybody at the end of Shaun of the Dead became useful members of society. They had their roles. I mean,
Well, and that's the thing is when you talk about movies, I look at a lot of the Romero films as documentaries. They're going in and studying this situation, and it culminates in Fido as far as they have a role in society and they can play a good productive role.
I question whether or not they are even technically dead. It's, you say undead survivor, but based on first off, it depends on the type of zombie plucked from what movie, right? But if they have some sort of brain function and they are obviously mobile, can we even really call them dead? Maybe their organs are not operating in the way that a healthy human being's organs are. However, there's people out there with pacemakers, or people out there that that rely on science to help them keep going. Plus, I kind of wonder, and this is sort of spun off of something Greg just said, I kind of wonder if, like, after this level of trauma, this severe trauma, they are sort of restarting a stage in life, almost like having survived massive brain damage. They are effectively like children, or have the capabilities of children. So should we just leap to the fact of they haven't learned, so let's just shoot them? Maybe they will have the capacity to learn and evolve. Well,
look, at least Jay here has my back. I'm a genuinely nice person, so I must be right. Okay, wait a minute. Jennifer's got a point here. Duty to retreat could get complicated trying to flee a zombie, especially telling them to leave and they won't comply. So then what, right? You're like, hey, I need you to back off. You're too close to my property. I view you as a threat. And they don't know because they're just brains, right? And then boom, to the head.
Well, if you're directly threatened, you shoot that bitch. Otherwise, you muzzle them, collar them, and put them to work, man.
I don't know. When is stand your ground ever gone wrong? But
that was a good one.
But that said, I mean, I don't know. I just sort of think that now people just want to go out there and start shooting zombies. So who am I to stop them? But
no. I prepared for this, you folks. I didn't just mix a drink, which, by the way, this is delicious. I thought of this morning. It's fantastic. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, here we go. Share that. Good. This one. Hold up. Ready? Okay. This is there we go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So in 1980, the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws in 1980, they formulated a Uniform Determination of Death Act. It states that an individual who has sustained either 1, irreversible cessation of circulatory and respiratory functions, or 2, irreversible cessation of all functions of the entire brain, including the brainstem, is dead. A determination of death must be made in accordance with medical standards. So, Greg, do they have brain function? Do they have respiratory function?
Yes, they do. They have brain function. The respiratory function is a little bit confusing. As far as the moaning that they do, I don't know if that's part of the respiratory function or whether they're just in pain, because they look like they're in pain.
Right.
And so there is a functioning. They're basically, their gullet turns into like a compost pile, and it's just in there, just churning up this. And that's why they have that mastication conduct disorder. They have a hunger drive that none of us could even imagine, and they're so afraid of not being able to get their next meal, so they're going to eat anything that they can. And you guys were talking about their behavior. it's undead defiant disorder. I mean, that's what it is, man. You know, we need to think a little bit more about their condition and what they're having to deal with, as opposed to just, 2-2-3 round through the head.
Okay.
Stephen Schlossman is he's a Harvard medical doctor, and he wrote a book called The Zombie Autopsy, and he approached it as if the act of being a zombie is a neurological disorder. And one of the things he talks about with the hunger is that part of their brain that has been damaged that tells us when to stop eating or that we are full, that has been damaged. But that aside, I just want to point out that a lot of the bad stuff that happens within zombie movies, they may pose a threat, but the mass casualty is typically due to the stupidity of supposedly fully functioning humans. It's the humans that can themselves, I don't want to suggest zombies are not humans because that's offensive, but what's the word for the living if zombies are undead survivors? Greg?
What do you call living? What are we?
Ass?
Bait?
Jackasses. I don't know.
You know me too well, Greg. but let's say the normies, it's typically they
the
normies.
Problems.
Yeah. I like it. Okay.
The real threat is people like Max Brooks and the Zombie Extermination Network and Zombie Squad and all that. That's the real threat to this population.
So wait, Aaron started to hit on something here, and suddenly this got bigger than just talking about zombies and having a few laughs, right? So at what point is it the stupidity that gets you killed and not the zombies? Right? At what point is it this plague that's all around us, and it's not the plague that's getting us, but the fear of it itself? Jell, go.
This coronavirus situation that we're in right now has really taught me a lot about myself, and I've always wondered if I was going to be that badass that goes out and fights everything to get what I need. Yeah. But I'm the kind of one that stays home and hides during this whole shit.
Which makes me great for this situation. Like that's the thing, is that we have the pandemic. Okay, look, we can save the world. All we have to do is keep a reasonable distance, not go out, stay at home, watch TV, and we can't figure that out. So, and that we're dealing with a massive spread. So,
okay,
situation.
Wait, I got a point, Greg. I pose this to you. If we all stay inside, if we social distance, we will starve the zombies. And how ethical is that?
Yeah, that's
now what?
Like I said, I advocate for CUSF facilities. They're community undead facility stations. And what individuals will do is advocate for them, and they will place them in that CUSF facility. And that way you can manage their behavior and basically protect them from society, because we're not really protecting the people from the zombies. We're protecting the zombies from the people.
Yeah, but if we all stay inside and they have to come break in our house to get to us, we have total right to kill them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
You should be able to defend yourself.
But especially you should be able to defend yourself and your hoard of toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's true. That's totally true. If you guys have questions or comments, I love these. People are jumping in with all kinds of things. I'm kind of riveted already. We're kind of getting into it here, aren't we?
I mean, drink, Jeff?
Yes. So
shots.
We'll just have go ahead, do that Croatian thing that you do. Cheers.
What is that?
It's this Croatian stuff, Greg. Weren't you listening?
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't know what she was going to do with it, though.
Slivovica.
Bless you. Woo! This is going to get sloppy.
Hey, I got to open a different one. We're on the Shiner Frost now.
Shiner, keep that up. Wow. Keep that up. Shiner. Oh, Shiner Frost. Oh, okay.
I know that's the name of the actor, but I think both of us look both shiny and very frosty in that photo.
Andrew has a real question. How does B&B with the L taste? So it's B&B, which has got a vanilla flavor with Samuel Smith's Nut Brown Ale. It's kind of fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really, really good. You can taste the vanilla. You can taste the nut note tones. It's great.
Nice.
This is a good point, Tim. If it were legal to shoot the brain dead, you're right. Half of us would be gone.
See, it's a slippery slope, like what Aaron was saying.
It's funny. A couple of years ago, one of my favorite zombie books is World War Z by Max Brooks, and the audiobook is spectacular. The movie, I did not care for. I thought it was just a really terrible adaptation of a very excellent book. However, rewatching that movie now, I think it might be perhaps the most relevant zombie movie for our times. It's all about hordes of infected that it just spreads so quickly, so rapidly. And it involves the CDC, the WHO, and globetrotting and getting on a plane when you're not supposed to and traveling when you're not supposed to. And where if you just isolate, you'll be in a better situation. I feel like World War Z now was prescient as far as being a zombie film for our time.
Now, that's really globalist fear suppression and propaganda right there. It's casting a negative connotation on individuals who did not ask for this disease. I'm just saying.
Zombieism?
Zombieism.
Yeah, zombie. You're advocating zombicide. You're advocating spree zombicide is what you're advocating.
Yeah.
When you say that, Aaron,
no joke, man. You can't mess with those. Haven't you seen that? They're not killing them in World War Z. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And so are we really talking about, Jell, I want you to weigh in on this. Are we talking about zombies as others, right? They're not us. They're others. And once you think of someone as less than human, well, there's no limit to what you can do, right?
Well,
as soon as they're less than you.
Killing ravenously. There's no getting away from it. Even when you build a huge wall, you've got to take into account these World War Z zombies are just not anything to be messed with. You can't mess around, wait and see if you're okay. Those are the ones that you've got to hit right away.
Okay, Andrew, good point. Would it be socially acceptable, Greg, to quarantine the undead survivors, build a wall, put them all in one place, and let them just stay in there all by themselves?
Yes, and that's what I was talking about earlier. The CUFS facilities, the CUFS facilities, Community Undead Facility Stations, is where we would basically quarantine them.
So people are also wondering how Greg knows so much about being a zombie, and I submit Exhibit A right here. How did you get over that, Greg?
I tell you what, man, that was a long struggle.
You were dead, but you got better.
I'm better, and I also understand. I've been studying. I'm a zombologist.
Right.
I've been studying this for a long time, and I think I have a good management system set up.
I think Jell is making a political statement at this point. We were talking about others, putting them all in Oklahoma, and now you have on a headdress. What are you saying?
It's 6:30. It's time for me to flip-flop my stance. I am now, my favorite zombie of all time, which technically Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob Zombie's wife, her character, Baby Firefly from 3 from Hell. Now, Baby Firefly would be like, kill them all.
Right. At what point is killing them doing them a kindness? That can't be a happy existence, right? You're just mindlessly wandering around looking for your next brain. I mean, maybe putting them out of their misery.
But that goes back to sort of the treating them like others and the dehumanization. Because if we start deciding that we have the ability to make a decision for another human based on what we think is, but it's better to send them back. It's better to send them back to the border or send them back where they came from or whatever. This kind of thing. I mean, this is actually the treatment, the dehumanization and treating them as others is one of the things that was carried over from sort of the predecessor to the modern zombie, vampires. I mean, we wouldn't get to Romero without I Am Legend and The Last Man on Earth. But that treatment of, okay, this is an other, infected or affected other, we can kill them. It's okay. They're no longer human. But
it's a group,
well historically.
And it's a group think amongst humans where we have this delusion of immunity and validity for actually wiping out some creature that may or may not be a direct threat to you.
Because we start to look at them as animals and not humans.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. And it's getting to it. Aaron, you brought up vampires. Now, originally, folklore vampires were consumption victims or any kind of plague victim, really. So, and what vampires do is they suck the lifeblood, the vitality out of the living, and vitality is always represented as blood. So for centuries upon centuries, when there was a plague, if you couldn't find a medical reason, you found a folklore reason. And that was you were the victim of a vampire. If you find the vampire and kill it, and that vampire could be in the grave, it could be walking around. But if you kill the vampire, you might break the spell and save your family. So we have centuries and centuries of tradition of looking for the vampire, who were walking corpses back then. Now we're talking about zombies. Same thing, different label maybe. Kill the vampire, break the spell, save the day. How do you undo millennia of tradition?
Jill.
Yes, Greg. I think that baby Firefly would definitely piss me off, because I think she would be more like, I want to play with them for a little while. You know, she does this to humans also, but I just want to play with them for a little while, then I'll kill them. What do you think about that?
I don't know, but Jill, you look freaking fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you for classing this up. Okay, Nicole has a question, a police question. We have a cop here. I'll let you guess which one. So how would the police handle it? Would they feel it's their duty to anticipate the harm a zombie could do and therefore feel it's their duty to shoot them? Or I submit this to you, and I'm asking Officer Lawson now, law enforcement professional. There's a zombie. There's a little kid. The zombie doesn't seem to be moving toward the little kid, but he's close, real close. What do you do?
I'd go grab the little kid, make sure that he's safe, and put him someplace safe, and then go deal with the zombie.
How would you deal with a zombie?
Well, I don't know. You know, I have some control sticks that I sell. These are $450 online. You can get them, and these will help you. You got a little rubber part right here. You can push them away. If you need to pull them someplace, you can hook them around the neck. You can drag them along.
Okay, wait. Hold it. So I just want to be clear. Just wait. I just want to understand, Greg, just so I understand. Shooting bad, assault okay. Is that where we're at?
You know, management. It's a lot. It's, you know, it'd be like crowd management, but it's only like singular.
The other night,
don't shoot him. Beat him with a stick.
The other night, I was at this bar. Not the other night. Last month, I was at this bar, and I got in this big fight with this guy, and I managed his ass all over the back alley. Like, managed him.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Oh, it's taking a turn for Jeff. I'm winning now. Oh my goodness. You guys are all weird. I love my control stick. What are we talking about again?
Well, I mean, I do have a question. If we're viewing this as an infection, and we decide to isolate, Greg, according to Greg's studies, it is humane and acceptable to isolate the zombies.
Yeah.
Now, in that time, okay, are you going to feed them? Are you going to find some sort of substitute? You're probably not going to find humans. By doing that, you're controlling the infection, you're controlling the spread of the infection. So is ultimately the desire and the goal to just wait until the infection dies out?
Well, I honestly, the idea behind this is you're going to, you know, when you bring somebody in, your number one job is to, you know, isolate them, make sure they're safe. Next is to identify them and find out, you know, what kind of property they own, how much money do they have in their bank account, those sorts of things, and get, you know, an attorney involved in this and making sure that that we're able to go ahead and leverage their wealth in order to manage them. And so it's not like it's going to cost the citizens any money. They're going to be doing this out of their own assets. If they have houses, we can seize their houses and sell them, or vehicles, or anything like that. So the idea is to continue them on. Yeah.
If you start seizing assets, then aren't you then essentially? I don't know. I'm not arguing on Jeff's side, but now I'm being the zombie advocate here. Are you essentially saying that it's okay that once someone suffers from this significant damage, illness, infection, whatever we want to call it, that it is then allowable to seize their assets, and then essentially aren't we just dehumanizing them?
Well, and the thing about it is it's going to be a power of attorney on our part. Is we'll get a power of attorney to be able to manage their assets. The idea is to keep them safe, and of course, we'll charge a fee for that.
Yeah. So right. So Doug, yeah, it's sounding like the Salem witch trial. Yeah. So how do you sort this out? This is getting complicated. So we're going to take their assets, kill them all, Jill. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Wait. Make them pay for their own quarantine. This is like making the Salem witch.
Of course, we're not going to pay for it. If they have assets, why hurt the American people when this person, unfortunately, they got exposed. And if they have medical insurance, maybe that should be considered.
Okay, actually, we did have a question. I got to scroll way up. There's been a lot of comments. I'm sorry we can't post them all, but Lynn Lawson, same last name, huh? Same first name as your wife. I'm just saying.
We must have a lot of people on.
But aren't we looking for a cure, Greg? What if we find a cure and you've already let your neighbor kill grandma? Well, which grandma?
Shut up down there.
Wait, Trish, are zombies even real? What?
Come on.
Wait, I got proof. I'll show you. Look. There's that. Yeah. There's that. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Aaron Sagers is a zombie.
See, Aaron got better.
I also got better, yeah.
Oh.
And that was like Greg somewhere halfway between now
mid-zombie
and that. Well done. So so are zombies even real? That's a great question. I got an email earlier today because I had said, hey, everybody, watch this thing tonight. We're going to have this nutty discussion. And someone said, are you talking about zombies as like something real and their rights, or are you talking about them as like a metaphor? And I just said, yeah. Because haven't they always been that? What's so funny is hearing this discussion, I'm hearing so many elements, and well done, all of you, for staying out of political waters. But boy, we are got our toes right on the very edge, don't we?
Yeah.
Our toes are wet, aren't they? We're talking about big stuff here.
That we're all drinking and having a good time.
That's what matters. That's totally what matters. We're stuck. This is the only bar we're going to get. And there's that.
I just want to thank you right now, Jeff, for giving me the opportunity to wear something other than pajamas in a room, something other than my bedroom. So thank you so much.
Did everyone put on pants today?
Not pants, but close enough, though.
Well done, all of you. No, isn't it funny? Like this whole idea was sort of born out of the circumstances we're all in, and it started a couple weeks ago when I'm like, I just want to have a beer with some friends, and I was like, wait a minute, we have technology, and then I'm like, I miss audiences. I miss I had like a bunch of live shows I was going to be doing in March, and I love that idea, and I was like, wait, we can see friends, have beer, and let people watch. And there's people watching, so thank you guys.
It's dwindling, but yeah, there are a couple of people watching.
So zombie prom, Trisha was there. You can see her little profile picture. I've been throwing this zombie prom for years now as a charity event, and we raised money. This year it was for the Milford Youth Center, trying to get them a music room, and it's so much fun. We always do it the closest weekend of Valentine's Day, and people come dressed as zombies. We have prizes, we have live music and all that stuff. But man, people get into it. It's just incredible to see. And I don't know, what do you think it is? What is our fascination with zombies? How have they gotten so big? Jill, I want to start with you, please.
Well, The Walking Dead really, aggravated that whole zombie situation. There was lots of zombie stuff, but only the cool kids knew about it. But it became mainstream with Walking Dead, I believe. And now it's been running for, how many seasons? 10 plus seasons? I mean, a lot of us have, we were embarrassed to say that we still watch that show, but we do.
Right.
We just want to make sure we're not missing anything, but we're not real excited about it, but we're still watching. But yeah, it blew up, I think, with Walking Dead, and everyone really were able to put themselves into that situation and think about what they would do.
Yeah, no, I love how I do enjoy a good zombie movie, all of them, right? I mean, there's very few I can think of that I don't like. But what I love about them is how simple life gets, right? Like, there's no like, oh, I got to return that email, or this bill's got to get paid, and I got to cut the lawn. No, I got to wake up alive. I got to find food. I've got to protect myself, and I've got to find a place to sleep, and that's it. That's
stay alive for another day.
Like, that's not much. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it feels like right now.
I think it's so scary also because the zombies are us. I think we identify with the zombies better than we would identify with some other monsters, some aliens or whatever. We identify with them. I worked season 4 and 5, Fear the Walking Dead. So I've been around a lot of zombies.
Were you there when they filmed it in Wimberley? I saw that Old West town, and I'm like, I know that place. I've been there.
Yeah, I was there. I didn't get killed there. I got killed in a couple of other places.
So,
come on, you call me next time.
So, Aaron, I know you're all over the world, going to like Comic-Cons and stuff like that. You're running panels where you get to see some of these folks, and look at you, look at that. Oh, Walking Dead, right?
There you go. That's the man right there.
There he is. So you're on these panels, and people are just fascinated by it. What kind of questions are they asking? Why do you think they're so drawn in?
I mean, the sort of superficial questions end up being favorite kill type of questions, and that's across property, across IP. But overall, I very much agree with Greg's point that, they are us. We can treat them like others, but ultimately they are us. But I also think there is the vulnerability. Someone actually mentioned in the comments that someone will try to lock up poor little Timmy in the basement. Well, that's kind of true, that it is the infection that can get to any of us. It ultimately does not discriminate. You could probably draw some real world parallels. But it can get to our spouse, our mom, our dad, our kids, and that threat is ever present. And then I also think the other thing is ultimately the slow moving zombies, the Romero zombies, which are, they're constantly stalking, constantly walking. I find them particularly terrifying. And I think they connect with people like through The Walking Dead because they can ultimately deal with the zombie threat. If they work together, when they work together, they can protect themselves. They can create barriers, find settlements. It's all the bickering amongst humans and vying for leadership and egos getting in the way, because we are still humans, even in the apocalypse. And that's what shoots us in the proverbial foot. And I think that is very relatable.
Yeah. And especially now, I mean, every week we're kind of going out like once a week here for like a supply run, which is the grocery store.
Jeff, no.
The package store, right? Like, so like that's the supply run. We try to do it at one time, and it's getting more surreal every week. Like, to get into our local grocery store, there's tape every 6 feet. And you got to wait, and only so many can go in at once. And there's plexiglass now where you used to just talk to people. And suddenly you come home it's weird. You come home a little shaken up, like, wow, it's never looked like that in my entire life. And you start looking, I know every one of us, if we've been out anywhere, someone like gives one of these and you're like, It's
I was on the subway in the so I've been isolating at least since the beginning of March. We started doing it a little earlier, but right before then, I live in Brooklyn, and right before then I was on a subway going into Manhattan, and there was that moment where someone coughed, and there was just this like people cleared out. But and you talk about this survival element. I think everyone, if you said, hey, are you want to look out for your fellow human? Do you want to make certain people have a more or less enough to get through this? Most people would say, yeah. But then you find yourself in a grocery store buying toilet paper, and you're like, does my family need this amount? Or should I just get all of it because it's here? And suddenly the psychology of it is turning me into this frenzied state. So I'm just going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to hoard. People go a little bit crazy, and I think we have seen some of that as well.
Well, and like you're talking about this social distancing and everything, and viral shaming basically is the same thing with the zombie outbreak. Is people are ashamed. They don't. If your son, your daughter, your grandmother, grandfather, whatever comes down with anti-mortis viruloma, and you're trying to imagine, you put him in a dog kennel in the garage, have the lights off, and hopefully nobody will hear him moaning and stuff. And that's what we've turned this contagion into is a shaming kind of thing when it shouldn't be.
Okay, so Jeanette, good point. So the governor locked up his daughter, right? And then there were family members locked up in Herschel's barn. And don't we do the same thing, right? If someone in our house has coronavirus right now, and you say, oh, geez, well, we're all potentially can infect others, yet I still need food.
We lock them up and we leave food trays outside the door.
Fine, we lock them up, but we've still been exposed and we need food. And I've got other family members. What do? Do I just stay in, or do I just venture out and say, well, I don't have any symptoms?
Hit them all.
Pretty soon you're just a plague house.
Hit them all. Yeah.
But I don't agree with what you were saying earlier about us identifying as the zombies as us. I think we more identify as with the survivors. We're rooting for those zombie kills. You said that was a really popular thing to root for. I don't think we're identifying with the zombies. We're much more identifying with the survivors and rooting for them to do some really gruesome kills.
I think there's a theory that it could become us, though. Like that threat is looming. And when I say identify, more like we see them and we realize that used to be my neighbor. That used to be my mom. And then that even as far as advocacy rights, I think you have to personalize it in that way. Okay, if my loved one became a zombie, would I think it's okay to kill them? Would I think it's okay for Gel to kill my loved one?
It changes.
You got to remember that even Shaun of the Dead killed his own mother when she turned.
Yeah, and here's the deal is, let's say you decide to make that kill. What if they come up with the cure 2 weeks from now? Or the next day? Hey, we got a cure. Just go in and take care of this. And it's basically a human car wash, and we're good to go. And now you've gone and killed the family.
Really, it makes it through the World Health Organization without getting killed, so that he can bring us that cure.
And now we're back to like Black Plague days, where you bring out your dead. And some of them were not dead. A lot of them were not dead. It was like, we just got to be done with this thing. And everybody's afraid. And when you're afraid, you don't make logical decisions. And so, Gel, what you said earlier, I think was really poignant, where you said, no, you're rooting for the living. And Aaron said, no, I think we identify with the zombies. And I think you both are right, because we're talking about our perspective. Right. So zombies have always been a metaphor. Romero, initially, they were in a mall because it's consumerism. We just shop, mindlessly shop. Now you could talk about, in so many other ways. But for one, we're social media zombies. We just sit in front of when I go to get a haircut, I'm the only, I specifically don't take my phone out while I'm waiting to get my haircut. And I'm the only one. And I make everyone nervous. Right. There'll be like 3 people just, and then I'm just sitting there like, hi, and everybody's just freaking out. Greg has a cat. Are you going to eat that cat?
They get in.
It's a zombie cat.
Yeah.
No. Now this is crossing over into Pet Cemetery, and this is Salem the cat. Or
That's right.
I think that's an excellent point. And I think that people, again, it's like that ego element. We think that our approach to handling the crisis is going to be best. Like, we'll be able to manage it so we can lock up Timmy, or we can lock up our loved one. We can figure it out. The rules don't apply to us. We can figure out some other approach. Also, Romero did get there with the social media before he passed away. Diary of the Dead was an early social media zombie movie.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's really good. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
They did a good job on that one.
But don't you think like that's what we've come to, right?
Oh, yeah.
We don't think for ourselves so much anymore. I'm just as guilty. I don't know how to drive anywhere anymore. I put on the stupid Waze GPS to tell me how to get like to the end of my street. I used to know how to do that. And I mean, so I let that do the thinking for me. Oh, Jell's doing a costume change. I will just let her do that.
We only have a few minutes left. We got to do it while we can.
Do we only have a few minutes? Are you out of booze?
Oh yeah, everybody shots.
The technology is designed to turn us and train us like zombies. Where, I mean, if you ever find yourself in that loop where you're like, I'm gonna go to bed, but I'm just gonna do one last check on Facebook. Maybe Twitter, maybe Instagram. Okay, let's see what's going on in the email. Maybe Facebook again, and it creates this loop, this essentially mindless loop. Which, Jeff, according to your rules, that means we could just take you out, because if you're spending too much time on social media, you are, in effect, a zombie.
That's totally true. Jell, where are we at now?
Oh, we're still with Sherry Moon Zombie, still with Baby Firefly, just from a different film.
Okay.
This is more House of a Thousand Corpses, Baby Firefly, instead of Three from Hell, Baby Firefly.
I didn't get the memo on accessories, on how many accessories I was supposed to bring.
Well, I'm a costume and wardrobe girl, so like I'm on top of it. I'm so excited to get a chance to wear this stuff when all I've worn is pajamas for weeks.
We should do. What are you drinking now? What is that?
Slivovitsa, it's the last of the bottle.
No, what's in the? Oh, in soda.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
cheers.
Lluvia.
Yeah.
You drinking? Oh.
Cheers.
Hey.
Yes.
Cheers.
My God, what would we be doing if we didn't have this quarantine?
Probably being
this
sort of productive. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that. So how are you guys holding up for real now? I mean, Jell, how are you holding up with this whole like locked inside and unsure of the world?
I'm fine with it because this is the way I lived beforehand. Although I've just realized how awesome it is to get groceries delivered. If I would have known this way back when, I would have never left my house ever. So I just close it all out, and it's not really any different, except for I never get to put clothes on to leave the house. So that's why I'm so excited.
Aaron, how are you doing?
I mean, it's, first off, the ultimate thing is if we knew what the end game was, like how long this was going to last,
yeah,
it's easier to kind of think about your how long you have to pace out your stability, you know. But that said, I've lived in New York for off and on 18 years, and this is the weirdest time that I have ever witnessed. And there's almost like this eeriness that's kind of beautiful, as far as if it wasn't for this reason, hearing the birds kind of thing, it being a little bit more quiet outside. There's a great Talking Heads song called Nothing But Flowers, and it kind of just goes through my head sometimes, like when I go out for my walk or whatever. So it's eerie, but I think overall, I hope people are holding together.
Greg?
I'm thriving.
Because you're a cop and you still got to work.
it's basically a business as usual for us. We're trying to stay away from people as best we can,
it can't be business as usual. Like, I mean, because like you said, business as usual is not staying away from people, right? I mean,
for you, maybe. No.
A lot of times people can't help but make us, get close to them.
Right.
So
when you need to manage.
It's amazing, man. It's like, come on, can we pull this together a little bit? Can you slow the crime down just a little bit?
Yeah. Did you try asking?
And well, apparently you were saying that one agency did.
Yeah, one police department put out on their Facebook, "Hey, it's tough times. Could everybody just kind of like cut back on the crime?"
It certainly doesn't hurt to ask.
No,
but you
works about as well as it does for zombies.
Well, say it again, Jill. Say it again.
It works about as well as it does for zombies. Can you please go ahead? Okay.
Look at Greg just agreed. You can't. So you're saying, Greg, you can't manage zombies.
Wow, you cracked him.
Oh.
So it's a challenge. Let's put it this way: it's a challenge.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it is. It's a challenge for all of us.
You take families that are now forced to sit in the same room and interact with each other. There's going to be problems. They're not used to it. They're not conditioned to do that. We don't have. I remember when I was growing up, we had at least one day, one meal every day where we sat down at a table and ate as a family. It was either breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Sure.
And that's the way it was. Well, when does that happen? Thanksgiving?
That does not happen at all anymore. Everybody takes their dinner in their own rooms at my house. It's perfectly normal. So nothing's changed.
See?
No, you're right. And so maybe we're going to kind of rediscover our families, rediscover like what's important and stuff like that. I actually put out a newsletter today where I had mentioned that I have all these projects I've been meaning to get to. I'm redoing my website right now because I don't have other work. I want to paint the ceilings in my house. That's long overdue. Like so many little projects. And obviously now there's time to do that. However, I also find some days I spend hours just going down this rabbit hole of like first of all, Facebook and seeing how my friends are doing or not doing, and then news and being like, oh my God, it's going to be worse tomorrow. And oh my God, am I going to have any money anymore? And what do I do about income and all this other stuff? And some days I'm just like completely I can't do a thing. I'm like, oh, it's been 4 hours of me clicking and getting nowhere and doing nothing. It's horrible. I don't even know what to do about it sometimes.
I've had those flip side days though. I've had where, because I'm trying to manage a lot of projects, because not to be bleak, we don't know when those go away. So I've had days where I've been so busy that it's almost busier than like an average day where I'm very good about maintaining a work-life balance. So it's like all these different weird situations colliding.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I don't know. It's like today I had a good day. I was very busy, like working on like website redesign and stuff like that. But then like, I'll be done with that. That's only going to take a few days. I can't tell you what I'm going to do next week. And that's sometimes daunting. Go ahead, Jill.
That's crazy. I think it's a good day if I don't have to leave the house and all I have to worry about is what I need to click on. That's a beautiful day. That's but these days, because of all that's happening. Oh, shit. Because of all that's happening, I have to worry about distance learning. I have to figure out between the two kids and 16 different classes and how to work the technology, which is different for everyone, and make documents because they refuse to put out worksheets. I mean, it's ridiculous how much stress we have now compared to the no stress that I had before, where all I had to worry about was clicking on stuff.
Can I ask a question to the room? Like, do you find, and everybody in the chat too, do you find that, we are always saying, if only I had a little bit more time. It's the Burgess Meredith Twilight Zone episode, Time Enough at Last kind of thing. Once I have the time, I'm going to read these books. I'm going to work on self-improvement. I'm going to write that novel, all these things. And yet I find that my creative output, it's not that I'm feeling more creative because I have time. It may be the opposite because it's a bummer out there, or maybe whatever it is. I don't feel like I'm using this time as if it's like, woohoo, party.
Yeah, you got to work through that, man. I work my regular job, and then I work some contracts outside of that. All those contracts are canceled. And so that time I'm spending, writing screenplays, writing on a book that one day will maybe be published. But planning ahead on what you're doing, because I know Jeff, you got a lot of stuff canceled. I know, Aaron, you got a lot of stuff canceled. I have 5 events canceled that were going to be great. And it's scary to think that it'll last longer than what they're projecting, but I'm positive, and no matter what, I'm going to use this time to make sure that I, get the stuff done that I want to get done, and not waste it, because all these years we've been asking for extra time. Well, it's forced on me now.
Here it is. But wait, let me just go 1 second, Jill. I'll get to you in 1 second. So, Greg, I got to point out, though, you're still working. Man, all my work has stopped.
I know.
And so that's really hard for me. I haven't been without a job since I was like 15, right? I'm so defined by my work. Like, I hustle. And yes, they're like, all day today was great, super productive, working on stuff for me for the future that might pay off one day. But like, man, the fact that you get to get up and go to work every day, even my friends that are working from home, you're so lucky that you still have a paycheck coming in, that you still have something to do every day, that you get to quit. Man, I wish I would be begging for some of those deadlines right now. And so I think there's a difference when you're not facing, like, when you wake up tomorrow and go, well, this is like yesterday. What am I going to do with it? And yeah, today was good, but tomorrow, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And I can't imagine what the stress is like that,
Wait a minute. Wait, Stacy, I love this. This is another one that's going all around. I thought I was never skinny because I didn't have the time to work out. Turns out that's not it. We feel you, girl. We feel you. Jill, I want to get back to you. I'm sorry. You were going to jump in. Say what you're going to say.
I really, really only have 2 times of the year that I really get busy. It's in haunted tour season when we're filming episodes. We release all our episodes in October, and we've usually got one under our belt by this time in the year. So I really miss having that work to do, because, that's all the costume design and the wardrobe for whatever ghost that's supposed to be from whatever time period. That usually falls to me, and I'm thrifting and going to antique stores and calling up historical reenactors, and I don't have that this year, and it's kind of weird. It is kind of weird to not have that. And the other thing that I hugely look forward to every year is South by Southwest. From Hot Water, I'm at South by Southwest for 10 days straight, nonstop, every year, seeing every film that's going to be coming out in the next year, and some that will never come out. And I really, really miss that. Although Amazon has said that they're going to be playing a lot of the movies for free this year, so I'm stoked about that. But still, I miss the experiences. Right, Jeff? You were with me for the Good Omens experience. That was some awesome stuff, man, right?
Yeah. That was Greg. She can't tell the difference between us anymore.
Yeah, wow.
She's been drinking. You have to forgive her, Greg. She's been drinking.
Man, what is that? What is that stuff you're drinking?
It's this Croatian.
I'll have what she's having.
It's the Croatian mind eraser.
No, I miss seeing Jill down there. I like meeting her down there for South by Southwest. And when that got canceled, I was amazed, because that just destroyed.
Wait, Jill, do another shot, quick. I want to see what happens.
I can't. It's all gone.
No.
Finished it.
If you translate the name of that booze, is it the noisy cricket?
Who's getting arrested?
That would be New York City, because
good.
Some elements of New York continue outside.
That's wonderful. So let's get our final plugs in, everybody. It's been an hour. Thank you, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I want to keep doing these. I've been doing them like every other day or so. There's Aaron Sagers for all things. Follow him on social media, Instagram, Twitter, but you can find links from his website, because I didn't want to put up like 30 links for everybody.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Greg Lawson, zombieadvocacy.org. You can be the 4th proud owner of that book, The Zombie Advocate. And are you numbering them like an artist? 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 4 of 4? No, absolutely. And on YouTube, the link was very complicated. You got to tell Russell to get the vanity link. It takes 2 seconds and it's free. But go watch the Russell Rush Haunted Tour. You can see Jell on there, which is great. They do some awesome stuff. Just check it out on YouTube. And, of course, you can follow me, too. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Exploring Legends. And shameless plug, as I did mention, we're all out of work. So I'm taking Venmo tips. If you enjoy these shows, if you enjoy the speakeasies, I'm going to keep doing them because I'm having fun. And I really appreciate hanging out with my friends, even if it's just virtually, and having some drinks. And tonight was like, this was the most focused topic I've had yet. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Damn it, Gel. Oh, I don't think I can get to my gas mask, but I have one.
Wow.
That is a good look.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a apocalyptic pinup. That's what we got going on.
Maybe
so
that's
guys,
the calendar you need to do next, Jeff.
Yeah. So no, I get it. We're not working. If you're self-employed, it's tough. It's tough stuff. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give you each a parting statement because my gosh, there's 4 of us. So let's start with you, Aaron. I'll give Greg the last word. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Jeff, for having me here. And great to be talking with you, Greg. And nice to meet you, Gel. And thanks for everybody that joined in. Be safe, take care of one another, and follow the rules.
Right. Stay away. Gel, go.
Oh, thanks for having me on and letting me put on crazy costumes because that's what I live for.
I think next time it's just going to be me and Gel, and she's like every 5 minutes I'll be like, go, give us a new character, and it's going to be great.
That's probably good.
How much time do you have left?
I don't know. We just stop when we want to stop. I'm almost out of beer. Greg, go.
Hey, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this and finally getting to work with officially with Aaron Sagers, because I've been trying for like 10 years, dude. I've been trying to corner you on this.
Yeah, so, look, and now he's stuck.
This is my new pandemic resolve, Greg. You and I will work together. We can make pandemic
resolution. I'm telling you, it's going to be gold.
Well, you did just work together. We just had, Pancho Villa? Is that who's here now, Gel?
I don't know. I'm calling this look.
Wait, hold on. Can I point out that she's going to return that hat because she didn't take the tag off? That's going back. She's getting a full refund.
That's my want of the deadlift.
Yes. I love it. Hey, everyone, thank you so much. Be safe. Be great. Everybody, Hatch, yes, we'll keep them coming. We're going to keep doing this stuff. Whatever. I'll talk to all you guys again because you know what's cool? It's fun when I reach out to my paranormal friends who are usually really, really, really busy. And I'm like, Aaron, what are you doing Friday night at 7? And he's like, let me check my schedule. Oh yeah, nothing. So it works out just great. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. And please, until next time, take it easy.